Hello there YouTube, this is SybilznBitz back at it again with another Inkbound Daily. Today is the solo daily for September 25th, and we will be playing Clairvoyant, going from Proving Grounds into Garden's Edge, and then up against Argoloth. Most notable here, again, we have Clairvoyant with -1 will reserve, so that's honestly very suffocating for us. We'd like to find some way to get over that as soon as possible. And then, of course, enemies, we have Paper Tigers. So enemies deal plus 100% damage and take plus 50% damage. Pretty rough. We appreciate the free damage multiplier, especially if we run into a certain 600 HP mini fridge again. But Nim and Giannis dealing double damage is spooky, to say the least. So I'm kind of hoping that these vaults really work out for us. I don't know if we necessarily care to have money. With Devilish in play, we might actually want to hit 2 sets of, well, we'll get 2 vestiges when we open up here. And we'll go to the vaults this time instead of Quillings. And we'll get some vestiges out of there. That increases the likelihood that we will hopefully find something like Cultivated Harmonies, which is going to help our will problem. It also increases the likelihood that we are going to, I don't know, get something. Damage, anything that we can utilize. Technically speaking, most people who are like pro vestiges, they prefer to have as much money as possible so that you can reroll the vault before the boss. Whole reason why I'm thinking about all this is because I've obviously realized Scales of Infinite Potential is a good way for us to get free stats. I've obviously realized that I've been disrespecting the changes, and it was a while ago, but it was definitely brought to my attention that dailies are actually, I would almost say, harder than tier 20. Or at least, they're technically not harder, but I'll explain that as we go. Let's finish up an up tier with Shadow Book. That's actually kind of nice. I like that. And then we got Liar's Dice for potentially more power. Okay, game. Am I about doing Pinball Wizard here? I think I might. I'm not sure I want to reroll this, even if it could give us plus 30 damage here. The thing that we have to consider is how do we kill a 600 HP mini fridge with 1 turn? Because they're going to try and give us those. We can certainly just agree to take the 200 point deficit, but we really need to start thinking about not considering that a norm. Rerolling here to get the 30 damage actually isn't going to allow us to do that much damage to the 600 HP mini fridge if there's a figment at the first fight. So we would need Liar's Dice to pop, Shadow Book to pop. Like, honestly, it's roll Liar's Dice 5-head is how we're going to kill that enemy. So then we start looking at other things like, okay, what are we going to do for everything else? We might actually end up with a ton of physical damage due to Scales of Infinite Potential. So Amplified Telekinesis kind of feels good. Otherwise, gambling on a 12% chance for Critical Spirit Bomb, could be the answer though, honestly. We might end up getting some sort of crit vestige, like counter assistance, that'll help us out with Spirit Bomb. Especially if we're going to be visiting a lot of those areas. I think I actually might take... Yeah, I might take Critical Spirit Bomb here. I don't like it as much as Amplified Telekinesis, but even if we're going to try and do like a Pinball Wizard thing, we're going to probably want to save this for Prepared, Distance, and purple damage. Is probably what that's going to look like. So we're going to go ahead, take this, go to Proving Grounds. The mediums here, the training dummies, are also pretty thick. And so I'm a little concerned about that Mercurial again. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're going to Tarnish Vault, like we said. So earlier I mentioned that I believe that getting a perfect will clarify on dailies is harder than tier 20. And to some extent, I think that you could argue that just tier 20 itself is kind of freaking hard. We did not get... Well, here's the Le Mini Frige. If we get a full charge, that is just going to deal 340. That's not enough. I can move this here. And then I would have the pulse. I would still not get a Spirit Bomb. So the only way that I'm getting Spirit Bomb is by actually staying here. Unless for whatever reason I can do something like this. This does like 100 damage. I'm between Hard Rock and a place. Like, I could theoretically get close. But just not close enough. Because we didn't crit. Because we can get to full charge. Yeah. We literally would have had to have crit on this in order to get this guy in one turn. So if we can't get him, then we're not going to use our potion. That doesn't make any sense. Let me go ahead and hit that. And might as well just shrapnelize you just a little bit. Alternatively, I don't think that it would have been enough, but if we would have hit Liar's Dice, that still probably wouldn't have done it, because then that would have brought this up to, let's see, it would be a little over double. It'd be about 500 damage. Yeah, that still wouldn't do it. We definitely needed to have crit. Anyways, why do I think that Tarnished Treasure would have been good yesterday? These are kind of bad, but I'm not willing to re-roll this. Go ahead, give me some crit damage, I guess. Do we get crit damage again? I don't think so. I think we're going to grab Extended Telekinesis here. We're happy to see it. And we don't have money, but we can go to Binding Empowerment and get a green. A green would be... could be a Psionic Charge, which would really help us out. Would I be willing to go here for a Psionic Charge versus stats? Maybe? Is that going to help me versus Nim, though? Let's see what we got here. Poison Vapor? That'll help me versus Nim. Kinda. Also, priming a crit charge seems pretty good. Huh. We're not spending money. Trying to resist the urge to click this. On your turn, gain 1 Psionic Charge. Well, I mean, do we put it on this guy instead? Save us the reroll? I don't think so. We have stuff that we want to put on Telekinesis. So we'll reroll on your turn, gain 1 psionic charge. Seems good to me. Come back here. Grab poison vapor. Is it poison? I'll be honest. Cultivate sounds really freaking good. But I don't think that Cultivate helps us versus Giannis at all. I think that Poison Vapor helps us versus Giannis. Like, it's not the best, but it at least deals some damage. After Image is also something to be notable because of the fact that Evasive just makes Giannis easy, but we only get like 1 every few turns. And then what? We're going up against Nim. Nim, I think we're going to want Poison Vapor. Or if we somehow get our damage in for Telekinesis, then we're going to want Cultivate. But, yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to try Poison Vapor. See how this goes. Give me another Superior Vault. Anyways, I keep getting into stuff before I'm able to explain anything. It was brought to my attention that dailies have always had an unlisted HP bonus modifier because they were trying to get it like somewhere up the ranks, is what it was supposed to feel like. And with this recent patch, they had hold up, I gotta make sure that I hit these guys. Okay. With this recent patch, they, you know, brought up everybody's health, and then they took up the top end, and they were like, okay, we're gonna scoot this down. So, normal enemies have a 10% HP modifier up at the top end. Makes sense, right? But I don't think we unstable brew here. You're gonna die anyways, but what would happen if you were in Hazard RL 48? I want to keep unstable brew for Giannis. So we're going to take some damage here, but we're going to plank you a little bit. Anyways, they have 10% HP modifier up at the top end. Dailies used to have a 10% HP modifier. Now they have a 20% HP modifier across the board, right? So you're not only talking about there we go. You're not only talking about like bosses, in which case bosses are actually like pretty dang equivalent to top end. Normal enemies, the ones that you're generally fighting as boss adds, that you're fighting to try and get like your turn limit in order, have more health than they do at tier 20. Now obviously you start looking at tier 20 and you're like, okay, there's a lot of other restrictions in place, right? You have restrictions in dailies too. The amount of fights that you go up against is significantly less, right? They've taken out one fight, and not only that fight, its rewards, but the event after that fight has been taken out of each book. You are encouraged to not spend money, which is self-inflicted, mind you, since we're trying to go for the highest score possible. Counter assistance was very good. Herald Sandals, also very well appreciated, except that we don't have any movement cooldowns. Plus 10 move is still plus 10 move, though. I think we take poison damage here. Crit was just sort of like, eh. Like, I'll take it. I'll take the counter assistance. I don't think that we're scaling any more into that. So I think that poison damage or magic power. Poison damage definitely helps our poison damage more than the magic power does, but magic power also affects almost everything else except telekinesis. And so that's why I'm waffling a bit here. I'm going to choose to take the magic power, and we will regret that later. Interesting. Charging Spirit Bomb. Pulse straight into Spirit Bomb is available on the turn where we have a ton of magic power, potentially even more ability power. It might crit. Are we really are we really willing for this to be like the only thing here? I would almost think that we'd want to reduce the will cost. Otherwise, shielding aura is great. Shielding pulse. Is shielding aura with benefits or with conditions. Shielding aura goes into aura pulse. This is an interesting decision here. I think maybe we were supposed to take a look at this first. Yo, blink! It's a movement! Oh. Blink can make orbs, obviously. That's will and cooldowns. Cultivate can make will too. It's technically better baseline at making will than Blink is. If we get reduced cooldowns or costs of your magic skills, that actually saves us a lot. I'm not disrespecting that for sure. Blink would just make it so that we produce a ton of orbs and then we just use poison vapor more, and then that can be our damage. That's assuming that we can actually get like multiple purple logs to actually want to hit this. After image, like we can get it to reduce the cost of a random skill by 1, which makes it technically free. Problem is that we don't always want to use the skills. Again, Cultivate really doesn't help us with Giannis, but also neither does Blink. Does Blink help us with... No, not really. It doesn't really help us with, what's his face? Nim. I mean, kinda. But our movement here kinda does that too. Otherwise, After Image kinda helps us with Giannis and Nim. I think it's Cultivate. And if we're doing Cultivate, I don't think that changes anything here. I think it makes us want to not put one thing on Spirit Bomb. Because if we get -1 cost, then we can get a free Spirit Bomb. That might be a fallacy thinking like that, though. Shielding Pulse would have been much better had we decided to go with something that actually, like, reduces cooldowns. Technically, Cultivate can reduce cooldowns, but... I'll tell you what. Shielding Pulse is still around 2 shielding a turn. I feel like I should have gone with Shielding Aura, though. So we haven't bought anything. We also didn't make any money, but that's cultivated harmonies there. We don't say no to cultivated harmonies. Death Scythe is also, like, pretty dang good. Like, this is a great shop. Kind of makes me wish that I had actually... that I had actually gone to Quillings, but we got Steady Tortoise and Tarnished Treasure. Like, it helped us out. But this is... God damn, this is a damn good shop. I think we take Cultivated Harmonies. We don't say no to that, like, I believe, ever. Because that's our one will back from Unwilling. And if it hits Cultivate, we're actually, like, incredibly happy about it. Something gains a 1 cost discount. Honestly, let's survive Giannis. I'll eat it. So, one of the things that I was going to say early on here is one of the things that's on our, like, to-do list. Stop disrespecting Book 1 bosses. Because I was under the assumption, or the fallacy, whatever you want to call it, I was playing as if they were still, like, quick dive bosses. But they're not. They're tier 20 bosses. So, they're tier 20 bosses, and we have less time to ramp up to them. This is why we keep, like, dying against them, and the one time we didn't die, we lost, like, a ton of time. This is before we even consider the fact that their HP definitely was increased. I'm almost thinking unstable here. Because again, poison plus that, we're not disrespecting Giannis. We're actually trying to kick his ass. Pulse should do it. Why are you attacking me straight away? I don't appreciate it. Holy good lord. That does a lot of damage. Okay, when I send that back, that's gonna do what I want it to. Let's not put you on cooldown just because you're free. Let's go ahead, pulse, then send you back. And let's stay next to this flower. One? Am I a joke to you? We're fine. I think we almost... I think we can go ahead and take this. Is that true? Yes. I should have done this first. Oh well. Because we want to be in range here when we do it, because every time that we hit him now, we're going to take more damage. Unless... Oh wait, this is actually like kind of bad because he's got double damage, yeah? We're actually going to lose if we try to shrapnelize him with the pinball? Oi! Well, one thing to note, not sure if this is the right move. We get a full heal after this. We're going to get +1 will next turn. That means that it's turn 4, so we have another turn after this. Yeah, I totally took that broccoli early. Oh, fuck. Not only that, we screwed up Psychic Pulse. Is it worth it to Psychic Pulse you again? I actually think that it might. But I kind of also want to keep that for next turn since I screwed up the flower. God, this feels terrible. Okay. This is still better. I think we're still going to get a turn penalty here. It's a little unfortunate. Oh wait, no. At the start of your turn, earn 2. This is turn 5. We're fine. We're going to take a ton of damage. But that's fine too. That should be no turn penalty, right? No turn penalty. We did it. I'm sorry, we're going Astrokinesis. If we're going to play the Pinball Wizard, we're going to do our frickin' job. Next to the damage multiplier, that's really rough. But I think we do it. Because I believe if this works like all the other skills that it shouldn't with, this is actually going to double dip in Astrokinesis because it's going to increase the at full charge portion as well. Oh, baby. A double.
Hello there, Needless.
Okay, I'll be honest. +2 poison damage is definitely singing. Yeah. I'll take that. Now it's up to 10 damage per stack. It's spicy burn now. Okay, I don't think we need any glyphs. We're kind of happy with everything. Let's get some more stuff. Hopefully stuff that does stuff. Two Mercurials. Why you gotta do this? 2 Mercurials isn't bad. Like, we can get a lot of poison damage on this Ombre right here. In fact, why shouldn't I have it? Let's go ahead. Plant the broccoli. That's doing a lot of damage too. I'm gonna go ahead, hit this. I don't know why. I should have done that twice first. But I guess we get 2 broccoli now? Question mark? This guy's going to lose most of his health. I'm almost not worried about that, but we should probably also kind of worry about that. And I'm just afraid that I'm going to move away from these guys and then not hit them. I would much rather take care of these gentlemen. So we're going to do that. Boop. I should have laid down the broccoli and then picked up the... I don't know how to use broccoli. I'll just admit it. Maybe this is part of my bias. And we'll just head... We want to be like right here, I believe. Because I'm pretty sure that next turn it's just throw Astrokinesis around and make everybody very unhappy. That's also like very tantalizing. I think I can deal with this. Hit that. And then even without having like bonuses here, one of these flowers is going to give us 3 will. Should be able to do quite a bit to this gentleman here. Is this still more damage? No, not anymore. Should probably hit it though, to be honest. Pick that up. Hit you again. We're not going to be full power now, but we will next turn when we need it. Had to think about that so I didn't screw it up. Stone pitch pipe? Yes. It's like cultivated harmonies, but better. I kind of appreciate that more than steady tortoise, to be honest. Then again, a lot of our skills are being put on cooldown. Maybe we get rid of tarnished. Like, it's hard to get rid of tarnished treasure, but I think that might be it. Flaming fists. I'll tell you what, I won't disrespect it. Is that better than Liar's Dice? Probably. And then they give us some burn damage. I still... Well, it's hard to say no to burn damage now that we got a guaranteed source of burn. Poison damage, though. This would basically give us 5 total. And then it goes into here, so we'd be at 13 damage per poison. Don't really have much CDR besides maybe Stone Pitch Pipe, but that's our highest, so it's likely going to hit Cultivate instead. We got to think about Nim. If we're a pinball wizard, though, I almost think that burn is the way to go. Hexing Aura is kind of neat. Prepared on both of these are very neat. We use Pulse every single turn. I think we want that to be cheap. And if we get Damage Aura, we want that one too. So grabbing Prepared makes it more likely that we're going to see it. What Ascension do we have here? Sapping Aura? I actually really like that. Gives us a 50% damage boost, which we appreciate, but mostly just Sapping Aura. So that we can get those psionic charges. Binding Empowerment, not sure. The Garden, it's probably the Garden. Gives us 2 random blue vestiges, and we get a lot of money. Sounds about right.
Perhaps.
Can you tell me how to get into your spaceship of horror? Health stimulant? Like, okay. Okay, no, these are not doing it for me. I'm hoping that that pays out. I want to be as central as possible, just in case there's an Earthshaker here. There wasn't an Earthshaker. It's Mr. Buff Yo Damage. I don't appreciate that. Okay. Let me think here. This might seem a little weird. Pulse. Orb. That actually changes a lot. Huh. That changes a lot. Okay. I'm liking that. Everybody gather around, please. That's not gathering around, but I'll take it. I'm wondering if I actually want to... I don't see why not. I don't see why not. All you're doing is healing yourself. Go ahead, use that. It's free. And you're done. He healed himself. Okay, no, it didn't lie. My bad. Okay. Seer's Premonition. Marking Aura. Huh? Maybe? Oh, did this drop too because we have Devilish in play? It's kind of crazy. Well, we'll take Marking Aura. It's better than nothing right now. Let's take a look at what we got here. Crystallarium. Thantalopes? Excuse me? Okay. Huh. Thantalopes is actually pretty interesting. That is definitely better than Herald Sandals, IMO. I also really like Crystallarium. I might like that more than Shadow Book, but that +1 will on turn 1 is notable. But having 5 magic power on all turns feels a little bit better than having like an extra 3 on turn 1, comparatively. Oh, it would be an extra 2. Marking Aura could be really crazy. I think we're going to risk getting rid of Shadow Book. What the heck is this? Tell you what. Crit damage is certainly interesting. But I honestly think I want magic power. On pickup magic bindings gain -1 cost. Yes, please. I also would really like prepared telekinesis, though. Why are you making me make these decisions? We have to fully aug 2 skills. I've been thinking about that this whole time. I think that it is legitimately prepared telekinesis, although... Oh no, purple's just healing aura. It doesn't really do much for us. I was hoping that we could get another plus 35, which would be huge, but I think it's got to be prepared telekinesis. This is worth more will, though, 100%. So maybe we deal without it? I don't know. Let's at least try to get our legendary. We're going to get more opportunities for the other. Carver's Refuge, we can't really afford to spend anything. We just got a boss remaining. Let's go to a tethered shrine, gain some stats. Huh. Huh. Hmm. Okay. You think that's gonna help deal with Nim? Maybe? Hmm. I'm wondering if I need this brain tuna here. I think I'm gonna need it more on Argoloth. We don't really do good versus tentacles as Pinball Wizard. Like, technically we can bounce between two different tentacles, but that's about it. Otherwise, we're just sort of hoping to poison a whole bunch of stuff, and that does all the work for us. I'll admit I wasn't thinking about going up against Argoloth. I was more thinking about like how we killed these bosses because they're the ones who have been giving us the most trouble. I was also tempted to grab movement just to get rid of this stupid quest. Oh my good lord, no. I don't think that we pull this away just to get our... I think we just take this. But before we do that... Whoop. Okay. Could you stop critting on Spear Bomb? I mean, I guess that's what we want to crit, but I just don't... It's weird. You guys are dealing a total of 24 to me. I'd really appreciate if you didn't. Maybe I put this right here. And sap you guys. I guess we have a shield here. We might as well use it. Can I push this phase? If you're gonna phase in 500 HP, no, there's no way for me to... Like, I'd have to get a couple of juicy crits in order to do that. I don't think that's gonna happen. So we're gonna take 15 here. Next turn we're gonna be primed for some pinball wizardry. Which is a shame, because that's literally all we're doing this turn. Is some pinball wizardry. These are going to be at 4 will apiece. We're going to have an extra orb. We've got poison vapor off cooldown. I'm kind of about it. Yeah. I'm thinking we're looking pretty good. Okay. Guess we might as well use this. We might as well be there then. Excuse me, I want to use my skill. Thank you. Might as well use this, it's free. Probably should have opened with that. We would have lost a lot of damage though, because then that would have been reduced by 2 due to Thanalopes, and then 2 of these we would have been able to use poison again. That's probably worth losing the mark. We're currently fine. Let's make sure that we're getting shielded here. That's close. And I believe this is turn 5, so we should be fine? Question mark? Whew! It's been close. No. Like, maybe it's Super Spirit Bomb just to use it on a bunch of tentacles. I don't think that it is. Guess it's a possibility. I don't know, man. I don't like it. Is it Spirit Cannon just to move it? It's plus 50% damage. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. -1 will cost certainly makes it sound a lot better. -1 will cost. That gives us... I'm trying to think here. We get our legendary quest. And then we just take the movement. Gives us a little bit more damage. We don't necessarily have to take Super Spirit Bomb. Makes this a lot more usable. Maybe that's incorrect though. Maybe we take Super Spirit Bomb if we know we got -1 will cost. Cost basically the same. Whenever we want to use it, it just chunks for like a crap ton. I'm sad that I'm going to pass debilitating poison twice. We'll take it. But I won't like it. Way too late for Predator's Quintessence. We don't have any plus life, so Wooloo's is kind of bad for us. Fountain of Creation is at least will. Yeah, I don't know. Do we get rid of Crystallarium for that? Like... This is kind of rough. Otherwise, Prey really doesn't do it for me. Like, maybe we can grind 4 of these out of the elite fights, and then that's pretty much it. And then until then, it does nothing. Guess we'll take Fountain of Creation. I kind of want the burn. Kind of want the mark, especially with counter assistance, so we kind of want those together. Thanalopes is huge for us to stack poison when we do it correctly. Stone Pitch Pipe is will. Do we honestly get rid of Crystallarium? It doesn't feel right. I don't know if we can fit Fountain of Creation. Like, is Fountain of Creation actually worse than Cultivated Harmonies, even though Cultivated Harmonies works turn 1, whereas Fountain of Creation doesn't? I kind of want both, is the problem. But that means getting rid of Crystallarium, which I'm not sure is the right move. Well, up until now, we've had a perfect run. Because we respected the bosses. I'll tell you what, I'll take that ability power. You won't catch me saying no to that. Oh, it's a pretty large thunderstorm outside. Come on, man. I think if we move here, should be able to get all of you. Maybe. Yeah, that's probably correct. Save this for next turn. Let's put this on cooldown so that we get more will next turn. I wonder, are we going to get +2? We got +2. So Spirit Sapper is actually going to prevent us from getting more out of Fountain of Creation. Guess I've never actually come across having to decide that. That is a ton of damage. And I'm not sure that there's anything that we can do about that. We could pick this up. That's not going to be enough. So we're going to miss the HP threshold. Unless we find some source of healing in this last thing, which is highly unlikely. And they want me to kill a sword and a spear on opposite ends of the field on this turn. That is likely not gonna happen. I can kill you. Do we risk moving this like right here to see if we can get the two of you? I mean, we're already missing HP. We might as well put it on the table. There we go. That helps. Okay, take me back. Give me this cooldown. Give me another flower. I'm not sure that's worth that. That's pretty freaking close, actually. Could have used a crit. Are we still going to be able to do this? Oh my lord! What? What? Malformed tracing is pretty ridiculous. That's more will. What of these is the worst? I would almost say marking aura. It's really hard for me to actually say that. Because if we get a crit immediately on Super Spirit Bomb, or just any crit in general, like that's super helpful. But in actuality, we don't really, like turn one, we definitely don't have like a good chunky hit, like technically Super Spirit Bomb. But if it doesn't have charges, it's really, is it worth it over just using Astrokinesis a lot? I think we'll take that. We don't have a movement ability, otherwise Archaic Innards would... Wait, does Archaic Innards still do that? Yeah. Eh. Honestly, a little bit of crit chance wouldn't be too bad. I don't think that it's right. I think just a little bit of magic power is probably what we're looking for. Can we please thank you for giving me debilitated poison again? Another damage multiplier would be greatly appreciated, although to be perfectly honest, if Paper Tigers is in play, we already have a damage multiplier that's 50%, so this is only going to increase that damage multiplier by an additional 50%. Man, so is it Charging Pulse? I think it's Cultivated Potency. But we're not grabbing these every single turn. It might be Charging Pulse. I feel like I'm crazy thinking that I don't need debilitating poison for the third frickin' time. But it might be true. If we can get Astrokinesis up to full stacks as soon as possible, this does more damage than Super Spirit Bomb. So, I don't know. I don't even freaking know. We're freaking crazy, man. So if that's the plan, just throw Astrokinesis all over the damn place. Do we want crit chance? Otherwise, I mean, this goes into our burn. Pretty nice. What's our burn currently at? 27 per stack. Poison Vapor is at 19 per stack. If we open with Poison Vapor, we can get 2 of them out there. It's a lot of poison damage. Might as well use this now. Let's take a look here. Glass Cannon? Absolutely not. We would have made a little bit more money. We could have taken a second Malformed Tracing and then we win the game. Like, not necessarily, but pretty much. Heart of the Last Lifeless. Okay, hold up. Hold up. How much... The Quilling tier, like that would take us all the way down to, that'd be worth 500. 800 would be what it's worth to go all the way up to the top of HP. Assuming, of course, that we don't get bopped. That's quite a gamble there. Might be right. Because that brings us up to 46. I feel like we shouldn't do that though. We can still heal here, go up 1 HP threshold for an additional 300 and not lose 300. But yeah, it's definitely not glass cannon. I'm not looking forward to taking 4 times damage in the Argoloth fight. I think it's just heal and go. Heal, hope not to take 6 damage. Yeah, good luck. And I think if the idea is that we're going to be swinging back and forth between here, we want to be as far left here as possible. We really want to make sure that we are in on whenever we... Oh my good lord, are you serious? Okay, what we actually want to do though, we want to open up with poison vapors. That will reduce the cooldown. Then we can follow up with this. Then we follow up with this. All of this was free? Is it my birthday? We do plant the broccoli. Then from here, just got to make sure that we are getting shielded. We will be able to escape the AoEs. What is everything doing? We're pretty close. I really don't want to risk that, so we're just going to keep doing this back and forth. That's enough. He's had enough. Back off him. So, what happens when I move here? I still take 6. 6 is exactly the amount that we're allowed to take. I feel like we're going to lose. Oh, jeez. I don't know if there's anything that we can do about that. Besides, of course, put this exactly right here, which gives us another 1. Take Power Orb. Use Spirit Sapper. We want to save, honestly... Well, you guys are dying anyways. I think that we're taking 6. Well, we're going to take 5, actually. Okay, what's Argoloth doing? You're not using gaze. We can move here. Everything's autoing us. We're going to take a crap ton of damage. I don't know if there's anything we can do about that. You guys are dealing a lot of the damage to us. I don't think that you're really in a situation where we can, like, take care of you guys. You guys don't have poison on you. That does something. That does something. That does not seem to be working so well. Anyways. Not really much I can do about that. Nah. Take care of these guys down here who are auto-targeting me. You've got 2 Inky Will up there, or Inky Might, whatever you want to call it. You're still not gazing. You're just doing AoE for something. Okay. Trying to stop yet another hemorrhage of points. You're going to phase. You still got quite a few people without damage resist. You've got fresh tentacles, so we're not going to run out. Everyone's upset. That'll kill. I should have used this first. That's my bad. We're in the gaze. We would prefer to not be. I think that this is picking up all this stuff, getting out of as much AoE as possible. Might have to be this. Alright. We're going to see what we can or can't do here. And I believe this is our last turn. Like, that's a lot of damage. Unfortunately, like, I'm not sure that's what we want to do. I would much prefer to have it on top of somebody. Like, even you here, even though you're taking 50% damage, I think having just one other person in there will pretty much secure the victory. It's going to mess with our cooldowns, but I think that it is the right move. Yep, there we go. +1 turn? 0 turns. Okay, so we had a perfect run besides taking damage. Because we lost 2 stacks of healthy, right? Apologies for how long that took at the end there. I had to use all my frickin' brain power. That would have been a lot better had we actually had some crit. But we avoided crit the whole way, so I don't know. We got there. Otherwise, this was pretty much just you lose simulator. HP was definitely our fault. Not a bad run. Honestly, pretty fun. Ready to see all the people who actually managed to get like a perfect score, and then I'll have to ask how they did that on Fight 1. Hopefully the run was enjoyable, or at least entertaining. Stormsetter out there being a capital G gamer. Something tells me that potentially, well, again, if we would have gotten a crit, we could have potentially done it. So they could have just rolled the crit, or it could be that just the other fight. I don't know if the different fights, Quillings versus Bolts, are different fights. If that's the case, then get RNG'd, I guess. Otherwise, like this guy here obviously got the first fight. He just lost a fight versus a elite fight. This guy probably did both or lost his HP. One of those things. We're still up at the front page. Feeling pretty good about that. Anyways, if you have any feedback whatsoever, be it questions, comments, concerns, misplay alerts, be sure to put that down in the comments below. And until next time, we will catch you guys around.